welcome back to Drinks and Dunks. I'm your host, Ben Marquardt, and on today's show, we're going to do a little bit of mourning. We'll get to that in a bit, but first, we're going to start with the beer. If you guys are new to the show, I do drink a beer every show and rate it and add it to the leaderboard compared to NBA player. So we're going to start with that. I have the Hypercolor Double Dry Hopped New England IPA from One Barrel Brewing Company. It's out of Door County, Wisconsin. It's 6.0% ABV, alcohol by volume. And there's a trend lately, and I think that this is kind of what drew me into these beers that I've been drinking on the Pick 6 that I got. And that's just, I really like the colorful cans. A lot going on. It's the Hypercolor, but let's get into the taste. At first taste, it is double dry hopped, and it's got a really hearty flavor. You can really taste the hops. It's got must have a lot of IBUs. I'm not exactly sure how many it has, but it's a big flavor, big tasting beer. And for my NBA comparison, I'm gonna go with Andre Drummond. Just a big brooding center. Would have been one of the best players in the NBA if he played in the 70s or the 80s, but the game's evolved a little bit. He might get bought out, actually, by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Who knows? He could end up on the Nets. But yeah, this beer, it reminds me a lot of Andre Drummond. Does the dirty work, gets those rebounds, but kind of out of position in today's NBA. So if I were to give it a rating, well, I am going to give it a rating, but I'm going to give it a 7 flat. Andre Drummond has been an all-star in his career, but like I said, he's going to get bought out. Not a high-volume player. So I'm going to give it a 7. It isn't the worst beer I've had. I think last week's was, but it's not great. I mean, it's a C beer, in my opinion. So I'm going 7.0. Next, we're going to go over last week Wednesday's picks. Came into last week's Wednesday at 9-14-1. Kind of needed to run the table because this first half of the season's almost over. We had a shotgun on the line. We needed to win both of them. Started out on a nice foot. We had the Jazz -9 versus the Lakers minus Anthony Davis. They took them down, won by 25. Never really close. Jazz have been putting on a clinic lately. So that one brought us to 10-14-1. I thought maybe we had a chance. Could sneak in a few more videos, get a few more picks out there. But came up just short. We had the Raptors +2 against the Heat. They did end up losing by 8. It was a really close game back and forth. And the Raptors were really playing well, so I thought they could have pulled it out against Miami, who's also kind of turned it around of late. Toronto's kind of been hit with the injury bug. And when I say the injury bug, it honestly means the COVID protocols. So they've been hit pretty hard with that, just as they were putting it together. And that's kind of what's been struggling to keep me consistent betting all year, honestly. And that brought me to 10-15-1. So this is going to be the last picks video before the All-Star break. Got 2 picks coming up, but that's not going to be enough to bring us over 500. So we're going to be doing that shotgun. It's going to be the next video that's out. Make sure you guys comment what kind of beer you want. Otherwise, I'll just pick something below average, let's just say. Below average. Got to really be a punishment here. So we're going to be having that shotgun coming up. And I don't want to make excuses. But as I always say, if you have an excuse, why not make it? Anywho, if we would have took out the 3 Bucks After Dark's lost picks, those guys, they gave it their best. I don't know if there's some chicanery going on there, but if you take out those 3 and you take out the Super Bowl pick, which was a football pick and wasn't exactly an NBA pick, that's 4 losses right there. So if you take those out, I would have been 10-11-1, having a chance to pull ahead in these last picks, but this is just the way it worked out. So we're definitely going to be doing that shotgun, but I'm still going to make the picks. And because I did get one wrong on the Raptors game, I'm going to be doing that 5-second chug real quick. Man, that is a tough chugging beer. Just like Andre Drummond in the post, it's tough to deal with, honestly. So that was a 5 second chug for that wrong pick. So I'm gonna make my 2 picks tonight, just kind of to give us maybe a little bit better of a record. If we do hit both, we'll end on a nice note going into the second half. I have the Pelicans -5.5 at home versus the Bulls. They're really putting it together lately. Zion's an all-star. Brandon Ingram's a borderline all-star. Zion's just been a bully in the paint. So I'm going with them against the Bulls, who's also been playing pretty well. And then I got the Kings -3.5. I think LeBron's out tonight. Anthony Davis is still out. Kings are feisty. De'Aaron Fox is putting together a wonderful first half of the season. So I'm going to ride with them tonight. They're also at home. Hopefully to bring us to 12, 15, and 1 and make us look a little bit better ending the first half. Like I said, guys, this will be the last picks video. We'll have one out next week during the All-Star break, kind of recapping the first half of the season and doing that shotgun that you guys have been waiting for. So I appreciate everyone viewing and sticking in with me in the first half. I think we definitely got better. And I really appreciate all the views and comments. And yeah, Bucks After Dark, appreciate you guys collabing with me. And I look forward to doing a second half, making this second half of the NBA season really fun and drinking a lot of cool beers with you. Thanks, guys. Peace.